Whew. What up, tribe? More bad news. This morning, another positive COVID test. And so the quarantine is ongoing. Oh my God. It looks like I'm going to have to postpone my trip back to the United States at a right now date that is yet to be determined. Uh, I feel extremely helpless. I'm frustrated. Um, but what can I tell you? Like, when you're stubborn, when you're hard headed like me, sometimes you lose. All right. So, um, the trip in and of itself going into this was just like so insightful and positive and cultural and the things that I anticipated it being. And then here in Zimbabwe, it was when I touched down and on the way from the airport to where I was staying, I saw like, baboons in the streets and elephants and all. I was like, yo, so it was the part of, and I stated this before, it was the Africa that I envisioned, right? When I dreamed at night, right? And the Africa that my people left several hundred years ago. And so I felt an instant connection. And then COVID, my goodness, COVID reared her ugly head. I want to say this. I do blame myself for getting COVID because I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was out there in them streets in a rooftop party up there in Johannesburg. And I went to Rand's a party and in Cape Town, like had to be over 1,000 people in attendance. And that's me. Like that's 100% me. And, I was out there. I was living like it was 2019. And so, yeah, I'm taking hand up. I'm taking responsibility for getting COVID. And I know a lot of you guys are getting COVID back home. Don't turn your nose up at me. I've been reading. I've been reading. Don't front, right? Uh, So, and I'm not even like a party person, but I don't know. I just, one thing led to another. I was just like in these places. The rooftop party was like at the rooftop of my hotel. I swear I thought it was just going to be a bar, chill type situation. And it turned out to be a full blown South African party with like house music and South African house music and all this stuff happening. And I kind of stayed for a little while. The thing at Rand's, which is the neighborhood is called Kailisha, the club, I guess it's a club, is called it's called Rands. And even that, I swear, my driver told me, oh, it was a cool place for just black people. If you think there aren't enough black people in Cape Town, you need to come here. And I was looking at it. You guys can look up Rands on Instagram right now. I was thinking it's gonna be like, oh, barbecue, chill vibes, cooling out, right? It was a full blown party, DJ there, spinning ones and twos, 1,000. And so I hung around. That's my fault for hanging around, but I didn't know that it was going to be that. Who knows where I got this thing from? But I know back in the States, it's like 5-day quarantine and then you're good. You don't need a positive test. The thing about Zimbabwe is I do need a positive. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. In the States, there's CDC reduced the quarantining guidelines to 5 days. And in order to get out of quarantine, you don't even need a negative test. You just 5 days, sit down for 5 days, and you're good. Here, they are not doing that because I do need a negative test to get back on a plane to fly back to Cape Town where I still have half of my clothes, and then ultimately back to San Francisco, California, USA, right? I need a negative corona test for that. And I'm just going to put it out there. There's a lot of corruption involved when it comes to COVID internationally. Okay, I've talked about it. Pharmaceutical industries, and there are just a lot of people profiting from this. And I don't want to single out the government of Zimbabwe. I think that they are great people. But I also think that, I am in a place called Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls, the economy is the travel industry, period. So here I am, and I have to be in a special quarantine hotel, which is nice enough. But, the prices are like not what you would expect um, not what you expect a developing country price to be, right? Because they're charging me an international rate. And yeah, there's an international rate. I had to smile when I said that because I was actually able to get out of paying the international rate. I found a Harare address, but that's beside the point. But it's still like, even still, I'll just put it out there, y'all. It's freaking 75. It's $75 per night, and it's adding up. Especially when I was supposed to come for like 4 days, and now it's like I'm gonna be here indeterminately. This thing could stay in my system for 14 days. 14 days, and then on top of that, I have to pay $60 for every time I take a test, right? And so I took the test, and it was a positive test. I was like, can I get my money back? Because it's a positive test, I don't get to do anything with that. And so it's like they're just making it here in a hotel. I can't leave, right? So where do I go for dinner? I have to go to them for dinner, and breakfast is included. But let me just say this, man. Like, I do take blame. I'm hard headed. People told me not to come out here. I came anyway. Uh, and so here I am, man. I might have to be working from Zimbabwe for a week or two. I don't know what's going on, but that's where I am right now. And you're looking at the face of a man who is annoyed with myself, annoyed with the situation, annoyed with COVID, annoyed with the greed, and just. Before I get out of here, I just want to tell y'all one thing, man. I took the test, right? Hoping that everything's going to be okay. And I'm back, and I went back to my room. I'm looking at my email. I said, how long does it take? It said an hour and 10 minutes, okay? I'm like, cool. So an hour go by, hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, yo, I'm checking my emails. I'm checking my emails. I'm checking my emails. It's not coming to me. Bruh, like, I was upset because the woman, instead of emailing me, she notified the hotel. There was like a security guard there, I guess, just in case I got out of line. And it's, you know, that's just where I am. I'm frustrated. I'm exasperated. And of all the things, my first trip to the motherland, and now it's just like COVID has taken center stage over all of the other experiences at this point. So that's where I'm at. P-Tribe. Hopefully, by the time you get this, I'll be back in the States. Peace.